Yay. All right. Thank you so much, you guys, for hopping on the call, or if you're listening later, this is going to be an amazing call, and I'm just so excited about it because Beeda and Katie are going to share about the Diamond Retreat that they went to, kind of their key takeaways and things that they learned, and, kind of give you some encouragement for, what it really means to really move your business forward, and also how to balance it all, right? Because that's always the challenge. But I just am so thankful for these two ladies and all that they have poured into our team and into me and into their challengers. Their light just shines so bright. So thank you, ladies, for that. Before we jump right in, though, I just want to talk about a couple of things. If you have not registered for Summit yet and you're considering going, you should do it ASAP. It is such an amazing experience, and I know there's at least 6 of us that are going this year, and we just get to spend great time together, brainstorming together, and just learning from the best of the best while getting to work out with the super trainers, and it's so much fun. And along with that, I'm headed to Mexico during the time we would normally have our next team call. So I'll post that at the beginning of April when we're going to have that, but going with this for the Success Club trip, that's also a great opportunity for you guys. If you can get on the list for that. It's so fun. From what I've heard, I've never actually been on a Success Club trip yet, but I'll let you know how it goes. I'm super excited about it. So that's that. And then also, I just want to say that I am open for questions, anything that you need. Please feel free to message me. I'm really excited about this year, and I want to push my business forward and help as many people as possible, and I want to help you reach your goals too, whatever those goals may be. So please feel free to message me. I am super excited for this next season. It was kind of a hard season last year for me. Shared about that a lot, just trying to figure everything out and balancing life and a newborn and being pregnant and, just all that stuff. And that's life, right? And we were just kind of talking about before the call about how important it is to really kind of take time and reevaluate when we're not feeling like ourselves. And I think that's so important that we just sit back and we reevaluate. We always are constantly looking at our goals and really making things happen. And I just want to encourage you guys. So if you're not going through a program, you need to be going through a program, okay, from start to finish. And the reason why I say that, and it's okay if you stop, okay, just start over, start a new one and go all the way through. And the reason why I share that with you is because I hit this lull last year during my pregnancy, and I didn't know if I could recover from it, to be completely honest with you. It was a really tough time. And I have had a really hard time mentally getting back into things with just post-pregnancy and getting, trying to figure out how my body is different now and all this stuff. But I've been doing, since the beginning of January, I've done 5 programs from start to finish. So I did Clean Week, I went into 21-Day Fix, 21-Day Fix Extreme, I did Sean Week, and then I just did Shift Shop before I head into 80-Day Obsession. So like I said, I have been struggling to hit Success Club, and I've hit it, but I've been struggling. And so I made a post earlier this maybe last week or something like that, I can't remember, about 80-Day Obsession and my transformation since that time in the programs I've been to. And you guys, I have done nothing different except for post my transformation and the fact that I went through these programs, basically showing that the product works. And by some crazy miracle right now, I'm at SC 26. Okay. Now I'm not saying that to brag about anything that I'm doing, because I didn't do anything different except for post my transformation. So the reason I want you to think about that for a second. Your transformation is going to speak for yourself that these products work. So go through it. Do a program from start to finish. Post your before and your after pictures. Show people that it works. And that's going to be your biggest testimony. So I have a lot of people coming to me and they're saying, I'm really struggling to do this, to do that. And my first question is, are you doing personal development? Second question is, have you done a program from start to finish and posted about it? So I wanted to share that with you just because it has been a struggle. There was 1 month literally last year that to hit Success Club, I had to buy a challenge pack through, was it my uncle or my brother? Anyways, one of the two, because I was like, I'm going to hit Success Club no matter what. And then I gifted that to somebody. I didn't just keep it, but I gifted it to somebody because I was like, I have to do this. And I know that if I hit this block, okay, that I'm not going to recover from it. And so I felt like since then it was such a struggle for me to hit Success Club. but my transformation really has been speaking for itself. So I want to encourage you to think about that and really think about, are you going through programs from start to finish, doing the nutrition from start to finish? It's hard. It really is hard, you guys, to stick to that stuff, but it will be worth it. And it's our job to do it in a lot of ways, right? So with that being said, feel free to message me, reach out if you have questions. I'm here to encourage you, to help you, and I'm in it with you. It's been hard. It's been a few hard months for me too. So, but I feel encouraged seeing that our products and our programs work, and we can do this. So, with that being said, I'm going to turn the mic, computer, screen, whatever, over to Beeda and Katie. So Beeda and Katie, they have been in the business, both of them, for about a year actively, right, ladies? Something like that, right? And I met, Katie was in my challenge groups a long time ago, and then she came back to my challenge groups, and then she started to decide to start coaching shortly after, and she's been an amazing coach. It's been so fun to watch her. And Beeda joined my groups, and she joined as a coach and didn't do anything with the business for a long time. She just did it for the discount, and then she was like, you know what, I'm all in, and she really did go all in. And so both of these ladies hit diamond at the end of last year, and so they earned their spot on the way to the Diamond Retreat, which I unfortunately did not get to go to because I had such a tiny little baby. But I just wanted them to kind of share, first and foremost, a little bit about what they did at the retreat, what was fun, the things that they got to do, the special things they got to do. And then after that, we're going to hear from them about some of their key takeaways. And then I'll share a little bit at the end about some other things. So let's see. I'm looking, Katie, you're showing up on my screen first. So I'm going to have you, well, actually, why don't you both can just jump in and share a little bit about your experience at the retreat first before we share key takeaways. So just, you can bounce back and forth between each other. Oh, are you there?
I'm here.
Start? Okay, I'll start then. Okay. So the retreat was from Thursday to Sunday. And so we got there like Thursday evening and just did kind of we like ate dinner and had some like team bonding. And then throughout the weekend, we did some like sessions, like training sessions. We had some calls with people, and then we had someone in the business. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but
Brittany?
No, the girl that came, she's not a girl, she's the lady.
Amy?
Oh,
Yeah,
Erin?
Amy? She actually came to the retreat and talked to us, which is really, really cool. We got professional photographs taken, like fitness photographs, which was really fun, especially for like for me personally, because they did your makeup, and it was really cool. Because I don't really wear much makeup. And we did team bonding, we went on an excursion, we went zip lining, and that was really, really fun because by the time we did that, we really got to like know everyone. So that was really, really fun, like the timing of it. And then on like the last day, we worked out together, and then on the last day we just kind of, had breakfast and stuff and went home. But it really was so fun. Like I enjoyed myself so much. Go ahead, Beeda.
So go ahead.
Go ahead, yeah, sorry.
Okay. Sorry, it's a little bit quiet, but yeah, I was I thought that it was very, very awesome to be able to be with the people that you see every day on Facebook or on Instagram, and be able to actually, be with them and interact with them. One of the things that I really, really enjoyed the most was just being able to talk to each other about the business and how you experience it personally versus how I experience it personally, and some of the tricks or tips that maybe make a difference in how you interact with your customers or with your, with each other as coaches, or the tips on some of the business things that maybe you didn't already know. I really enjoyed picking up on some of those tips. And I had never been ziplining before, and so that was an ultimate awesome for me. I really, really enjoyed that. And yeah, so being able to do things that were team bonding. I know Katie was like, I'm the little old lady. I'm afraid. It was very fun, and to be able to do those type of things together where you just get to do things together. I think that's where you really get to grow as a person, and also as a business-minded person, as an entrepreneur, because the more that you put yourself out there as a vulnerable instrument, the more that you're able to absorb and not have filters already set up. And so going into it, that was my goal, was just to be a sponge and to be something, just really absorb everything that I encountered, and not to already have predisposed interests or predisposed ideas of what it would be, just to really take it for what it was in each moment. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I went to my first diamond retreat and even summit, I was kind of expecting to walk into those kind of situations and feel like everybody was kind of competing against each other. I was like nervous about that. And what you'll find at these events, whether it's summit or diamond retreat or whatever it may be, that the coolest part about Beachbody is that you make friends out of it, because everybody gets to be themselves and no one's trying to be like everybody else. So it's like, and there's so many people to help, that we can all sit there and brainstorm so freely and share with each other. And it's just like such a joy, because there's no competition. It's just all about being you. It doesn't matter if you're at your goal weight or if you're 100 pounds overweight and a coach. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have red hair, blonde hair, but it doesn't matter. Like, we're all just ourselves, and we're looking to help as many people as possible. So that's so cool. Cool. And then I would love to hear from each of you, maybe 3, 4, 5 takeaways that you took away from maybe it could have been from a speaker, maybe it could have been from brainstorming with another coach, or my little baby is sick, and so she's I might have to run up there. So if I disappear, you guys can keep going. So I would just love to hear, some things that you took away from the retreat. Maybe you can share with us that might encourage us or give us an idea. And they don't have to be long, short and sweet is fine. But we'd love to hear from you. So let's have Beeda go first this time.
Okay. Well, we did have several training sessions. And we also had a couple of live training sessions. So most of them were done via Zoom or a call. And some of them were done actually in person, which were really nice. Amy, I can't remember her last name, but it was the gal that Katie referenced earlier. And she came in person and visited with us. And I think she was probably the most impactful for me, just because I felt like it was the most real encounter. But one of the things that she said is that, it's okay to not worry about the rank so much as just, that there's different goals. There's different ways of setting your goals, that you can be rank oriented, or you can be, income oriented, or you can have, different standards according to what you're shooting for, and none of them are less than the other. You can still pull a really, really, really substantial and very, very amazing income without having a huge rank. And that was something that was a kind of a light bulb thing for me, because a lot of the politics in businesses can sometimes cloud your vision as to, oh my goodness, what am I doing? Because it all gets lost in all of the have to do's in order to achieve such a rank, or to do such things. And so that was a really good eye opener for me, just a light bulb moment where I realized, okay, so what do I really want to define my perspective, with? Do I want to pursue the rank over the income, or other things like that? And just gave me a really good avenue to be able to target myself in a particular direction, align my actions with my goals. So one of the things that she said was that your discipline equals your freedom. And that was very, very good, and an affirmation for me to hear that. And another good thing that I heard was a good point that I took away was, because everything can get very overwhelming. And I know I felt this early on when I was a coach, and then maybe midway through the last year, and then a lot during the last, I mean, even after coming away from the retreat, I felt very, very overwhelmed, because we have this new Instagram story or Insta stories thing that's really taking a wave of impulse on us. And Katie and I talked about this, some about the sheer impact that has on us, just on how much time you actually spend on your phone or on your computer. And you know, one of the things that I had to do was just to break down what are my priorities and what do I really want to achieve. And one of the training sessions that we had with Kelly, and then also with Amy, both of them said, you know, you can just aim to simply hit Emerald every month, and then, you know, make sure that you hit Success Club every month. And really that takes care of all of your goals, that you're adding 2 coaches a month and that you are hitting Success Club every month. And so that really has been a huge, you know, kind of marker for me, where I've said, okay, these are simple enough goals that I can mark this as what I can have as a standard no matter what's happening. And I will do my best to achieve those. And if I'm not able to achieve those because of life hitting, I can take a deep breath, and then I can keep pushing for those, because there's still going to be the standards that I will always want to achieve. And despite despite the weather, with Instagram or with Facebook or social media and whatever type of algorithms or troubles that they're having, those are still going to be my ultimatums, is that I want to be able to help, you know, a minimum of 3 people, and then also keep signing coaches who are able to, you know, continue passing on what is important to changing people's lives. So those were 2 things that really stood out to me.
Awesome. That's so good. Thank you, Beeda, for sharing that. I love what you shared about all that. And I'm going to touch a little bit on what you talked about with the rank advancing too, to kind of close our call. So that's so good. And I love the discipline equals freedom. That's so good. It is so good. Discipline is so good. Just while I'm thinking about it, so Instagram stories were overwhelming to me too. And because I don't want to be on my phone with my kids all the day. I just don't, you know, and so I was feeling overwhelmed by that, but Instagram stories have also, created tons of conversations for people messaging me through Instagram stories. So I've been like, how, you know, and so I did a little test on Instagram stories where one day, which I didn't like that day, I posted all throughout the day, like as I went. Okay. And I got, you know, I didn't get very many views throughout the day, but at night, everybody was watching my Instagram stories. Okay. Then what I've started doing since then is taking pictures or videos throughout the day, putting my phone away. And then when like the kids are in nap time or whatever, uploading them all in order, because no one pays attention to when you post them. They just want to see your life throughout the day. And what I found was that people still are all watching my videos late at night. And so when I wake up in the morning, I still have the same amount of views because people are watching them at night when they sit down to scroll. So just a little tip for you, that's what I found. I mean, you can experiment on your own, but then that way I'm not on my phone all the time. I mean, I'm documenting pictures that I would want to have anyways of my kids, but then I put my phone away and I'm not sitting there trying to post and do all these things while they're awake. I take pictures, and then in down times, or, you know, when I like, maybe it'd be a set time that you guys have on your phone or whatever, then I upload them in order really quickly. It takes me like 10 seconds, really, like, you know, post a story, and then it's done. And people are still watching it and still creating conversations with me. So I don't know if that helps anybody, but that's, if you want to do Instagram stories and work Instagram stories, that might be a good way to do it too. So that way you're not on your phone all the time, because like I said, I don't want to be, but I've actually not noticed any drop in interaction. I've actually noticed an increase in interaction doing it that way. So just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you, Beeda, for sharing that. Katie.
Okay. So the first thing is, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, Margot, earlier, is that I realized that our leaders and our teammates who we met there are actually human beings, and they're real and they're down to earth. And I mean, it was like really surreal for me to, meet Beeda in the airport, because I was like, oh my gosh, you're right here in front of me. She's so tall. Anyway, and I'm not. Um, but it was just, you know, I think we are part of a business. Yes, we're part of a team, but I mean, essentially we went to a business, conference is basically what, sort of what it was. And so I didn't really know what to expect because I'd never been to anything, like that. And it was just getting to meet everyone, getting to like hear their, stories, not just like business stories, but like their personal, stories and chit chat, and just like by the end, like I felt like, I've known these people like my whole life. So it was just really, really cool. And I love, I love things like that. And so it was, it was this small group, which was really great because then you actually get to talk to everybody. And so that part was just really fun. And, I tend to talk about this business anyway to people. So actually getting to like meet them, to meet the people that that I work with, then to be able to like talk to other people about them and like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. That was really cool. So anyway, so that was number one. They're people, they're real, they're real people and they're down to earth. Number two, something I took away was that consistency is really big, which we hear that all the time anyway. But I think that not only the leader calls that we listen to, but like the leaders that were there, and Margot, you weren't there, but you would definitely fit into this as well. Like that consistency is the key because all the leaders have been in business, longer than pretty much everybody else there. And so, they just talked about consistency, and I could see, their consistency over like years. And it just, if you're consistent, then it brings you to the place where you want to go. And then also something just about monitoring our own business. Again, like Beeda and I kind of talked about like balancing everything and not being on our phones all the time, but also not like checking on our business like, constantly, but I think it is a good thing to check in, check the office and to see kind of what's going on, because again, we are the CEOs of our own company and we need to treat it that way. So that was two. Number three, dreaming big is awesome and scary, which is, awesome and scary, but that if we're going to, if we're going to set goals for ourselves, then we need to have some sort of plan of action. And again, Beeda touched on it with hitting Emerald every month and hitting Success Club. We talk about the vital behaviors and things like that, but just break, saying, okay, this is what I want, whether it's rank, whether it's income, and then just figuring out how much money you would have to make, each week or each month to hit whatever it is that you're going to hit. And we did a little bit of that planning at the retreat as well. One of the, Sarah did a little presentation on kind of taking our goals and breaking them down into like quadrants and stuff, which was helpful. And that's a takeaway we can use not only there, but we can use, once we get home as well. And really in other aspects of our life. It doesn't have to just be Beachbody, because ultimately we are not just Beachbody coaches. We are, wives and moms and all that stuff. And so we have to find that balance. And I think breaking things down into smaller chunks is helpful. Number four, again, this kind of goes back to the first thing I said, but the common theme, in all of the national wake up calls, in all of the trainings, and in this retreat overall, was that helping people is like the number one thing. Yes, we are here to build our businesses, and that's why we were there, because we're trying to build our businesses. But overall, all of the people there and all the leaders, you know, care about people. And again, it's like, you know, people say that, but you know, when you spend 4 days with people, you know, the truth may come out, and you know what I mean. But the truth was that everyone there was concerned about people, you know, and just trying to make people's lives better and better themselves, you know, along the way. And so that was just refreshing to me. You know, I walked away from the retreat, you know, just having even more confidence in what I'm doing and in our company, and in our leadership, because I talked to other former, you know, Beachbody coaches that were not part of our team. They were on a different team and had a different upline, and they did not have the same experience. So I think that we're very blessed to have, you know, the upline that we have. Mm-hmm. And number 5, my takeaway was that Instagram stories are not actually as scary as I thought they were. And I learned some like neat little tricks. Some of them could be really time consuming if I, you know, they were like really cool, but I was like, I don't have time for all that. But I think Instagram stories are definitely doable. I really like what you said, Margot. Sometimes I do it that way. I've kind of tried to, you know, work a little bit more on Instagram stories, but they're not quite as scary as I you know, made them out to do, because we did have someone talk about technology and Instagram. I think McKenna did a thing specifically on Instagram stories, which again was helpful. We can take away, you know, some things that are useful for us. So yeah.
Awesome. Yay. Thank you for sharing. Those were such good takeaways, and it's funny how the same things keep coming up in so many different things, you know, and it's like, oh, it really is simpler than we think, you know, like we kind of try to make it out like we have to do all this and do this. And, you know, Beeda and I were talking, I got to see her yesterday, and you know, how it can get so overwhelming, but really it just comes back down to like, it's very simple. Like, we're here to help people, like you talked about, you know, and we're here to help people. And if we really focus on helping people and helping 3 new people a month, our business is going to grow naturally. And doing the vital behaviors consistently, like you were talking about, Katie, like how big consistency is, like that is just, it's true. Consistency, you know, it does pay off, you know, whether it's in our own personal fitness journey or in our business, it does. So, and I was thinking about what you were saying about monitoring your own business and business, you know, all that stuff, and how it relates back to something that Beeda said too. And I know I preach this all the time, and you guys are probably like, Margot, shut up. But you guys, you've got to have business hours. You've got to have it. Otherwise, you'll get consumed. You'll get overwhelmed. You'll have no boundaries whatsoever. You have to have business hours. Take hours that you set aside to work the business and don't touch it any other time. I know it's hard. I am so guilty of it. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because that discipline of having your business hours is going to give you freedom. Like Beeda talked about in there, discipline equals freedom. So you think that doing it all the time is going to give you freedom, and it is exciting, you know, because we all love it so much, but really setting business hours and sticking to them is going to give you so much freedom to have longevity in the business. So just wanted to touch on that, kind of tie those 2 things together. So thank you for sharing all that stuff. It's super exciting. Does anybody have any questions for Katie or Beeda before I kind of close us up with talking a little bit about rake advancing, kind of touching on some of the things they talked about?
I have one more thing I was going to share was a good highlight of the weekend, was that every single one of the people that we had training sessions with, except for Brittany, I think, said to embrace failure, because you know, a lot of the PD that we do says, you know, failure is part of it, and we hear it and we kind of just think about it and then push it out the other side of our listening sphere, and we don't really take it to heart, the fact that you have to fail in order to take steps forward. And it's going to take some really, really hard times in your own personal understanding of how you progress forward, or, you know, your circumstances or such like that, you're going to encounter failure, and you're going to feel like you're failing. And then suddenly there will be a rise, and then you'll fail again, and then you'll rise again. And so there's this natural thing of failure that we just think is the most horrible thing and that we need to quit because we failed. And that's not true at all. That failure is so much a part of actually succeeding that we really want to strive to push through those failures and use them as stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks, because they can just be so huge that we suddenly see ourselves as horrible and that we haven't achieved anything, and that we just cannot rate, we can't reach that mark or that bar that we've set for ourselves. And I didn't reach Success Club. Well, I'm a failure, or I failed. Well, sure, I didn't make it this month, but then I have a whole new month to start over again. And there are people that are waiting in the wings, and maybe they weren't ready last month, but they're ready this month. So, or they're ready next month. So yeah, failure is not a bad thing. That was one thing that I really wanted to make sure I highlighted it a bunch in my in my notes, because I knew it, but I didn't know it. So
I love it. It's so true. Thank you for that, for jumping in with that. I'm glad you reminded us about that. Thank you for sharing, you guys. Plus, oh, and you guys walked away with some fun little swag too, right? You got gifts while you were there too, which was fun.
Yeah,
that was one thing too.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to touch a little bit to close the call on rank advancing. Okay. Now, what Beeda said is absolutely true. And you kind of have to decide whether you are going to go for rank or you're going to go for income. But what I will share with you about that is that I really truly believe that if you want to go for income, you really have to be diamond or above anyways. Even if you're not, diamond really should, 2-star diamond really should be your goal to push for at all times, because that's where you can then see your income start to grow. Doesn't mean it can't happen, okay, before then. It doesn't mean that. But what I'm saying is that really is going to give you the balance to really be able to pull volume from both of your legs, okay? And really you get to open your second CBC. So rank advancing is important, but it's not the end all, right? So that's something that I really want to just encourage you with, that it starts with becoming an emerald every single month. It's really that simple. Don't think about, sometimes if I sit here and think about how much, like after my pregnancy, if I thought about, oh my gosh, I have 56 pounds that I gained during my pregnancy to lose, that's overwhelming. And there is no way that I can be successful if I think 56 pounds every morning when I get up. But I was encouraged during my journey to think 2 pounds at a time. So if you're at 160, don't think about what number you need to get to. Think about getting to 158 when you get up in the morning and work towards 158. And then once you hit 159, think about 157. So you're constantly going 2 pounds at a time. It's the same thing with your business. Don't think about the big picture. Okay. Yes, dream about the big picture. Yes. But when you wake up in the morning, it's very, very, very simple. If you want to rank advance in this business, you need to hit Success Club every single month, because that means you're helping 3 people. Okay. You pour into your challenge groups, and then you find 2 people every single month that you think could do the same thing that you're doing, hitting Success Club and pouring into their challenge groups. It's that simple. It's not this big, oh my gosh, I got to get to 2-star diamond. It's finding at least 2 people every month who you think would be rock star encouragers as well. Okay. So that's really what it's about. And it's, of course, along with doing your vital behaviors, right? If you can focus on those simple activities every single day, what you're going to find is every month you're going to be moving your business forward. I didn't start out in this business recruiting like a mad woman. That's not what happened. I focused on hitting Success Club every single month, pouring into my challenge groups, and then do the scary thing of asking people if they've ever considered coaching. And then I started doing that over and over and over again. And since then, I've gotten to meet all of you, which is amazing. And it takes time to build, but I have to tell you that it's worth it. So I just want to encourage you to take those simple steps every single month, and taking all those things that Katie and Beeda talked about too. You're not a failure if you don't achieve something. Pick yourself up and just work again the next month, right at it, okay? And then make it a non-negotiable that month and really keep working, okay? And that's really what it is. It's just very simple. And that's how you can rank advance without pressure, by focusing on those simple activities every day and just loving on people, encouraging people, and then pouring into them and encouraging them that they could be doing the same kind of encouraging that you're doing. Because if you're modeling good coaching to people, they're gonna think it's simpler once you approach them about it than they probably made it out in their minds to be. They probably think it's this big thing, but if you just break it down and say, hey, you're encouraging people in our group and you're doing basically what a coach does. Have you ever thought about coaching yourself? I have a girl in my challenge group right now that I met through a mom's group that I'm in here in Colorado. And she is hilarious to me because I am not kidding you guys. She has sent, in the last 3 weeks, she has sent 6 people to me. 6 people. She's like, I love this. I feel so free. I can't. And she like has invited 6 people to join us. And I have said to her like 4 times, Laura, are you sure that you don't want to be a coach because you are a coach at heart? And she said no to me. And I'm like, what? Because she's just, I mean, that's someday she's going to realize that she's a coach at heart. You know what I mean? Because she's encouraging people, she's loving on people, and she's going to realize she missed out because she sent, she gave me those 6 people that I wasn't expecting. Do you know what I mean? So that's really what it's all about, is finding those kind of people, not necessarily that I'm saying that send people to you, but people that you see have that natural inclusiveness about them to encourage others, and just pointing out coaching potential in them and making it simple. Because if we make it too complicated, we're going to make it seem too complicated to other people, and they're not going to want to join us too. Right? So be consistent with those things. And that's really where you're going to see, financial freedom happen. So for those of you very quickly that are new to the business, or maybe you've been in the business for a while and you just need a little bit of a reminder, the reason why rank advancing is so helpful is because you start earning team cycle bonuses once you hit Emerald or above. So Emerald is having 1 coach on your right leg and 1 coach on your left leg. Okay, at least 1 coach on each side. And then what's going to happen is you earn volume on both legs, and then it bounces and cycles each week, and you can earn $14 a cycle, and you can cycle up to like 200 times a day or something like that. So that's how coaches in this business that are like top 10 coaches are making lots of money, is because they built their team volume underneath them. There are some people in this business that are literally, they don't have any diamonds underneath them, but because they started in this business so early, they've accrued so much volume that they've been able to make income off of it. So it is not about rank. It's about really building up your volume. So Emerald is so helpful because it helps you hit that milestone where you can start earning those team cycle bonuses. Not only that, but when you rank advance, you get special things from Beachbody, which is super fun. Special rewards, you get special opportunities as you rank advance. You get to go to things like the Diamond Retreat, and it's just like it really becomes more profitable once you really start doing those things. So start by being Emerald every single month. And what I mean by that is adding 2 coaches each month, 1 to each leg, at least 2 coaches every single month. And before you know it, you'll be that diamond. And if you encourage your coaches to do the same thing, become Emerald every month, before you know it, you're going to be a diamond. Because if you have coaches underneath you that become Emerald, and you keep becoming Emerald, you're going to have coaches on both your legs, and then 2 Emerald coaches, not 1 on each leg, and boom, there you are. So if you're confused by rank advancing, you're not alone. It's very confusing, but I will do a video on that this week about it to kind of re-explain it to you so you can kind of understand what it is. But really, it's not as scary as you think it is if you focus on the simple things of hitting Success Club, pouring into your challengers, and then finding, 2 of them a month to encourage that they can be coaches too. So, and doing your vitals. Does anybody have any questions about any of that, or any?
I don't know if now's the time to ask this question, so you can just feel free to say you'll do a video later or whatever, but I still need to actually change over my paycheck to not receive it digitally or in the mail, but so that they don't take the little money away. But because I get it in the mail, I'm always looking at it and I'm like, okay, I understand like the breakdown of the check, like, so there's like retail, commission, then like team bonus. Can you explain like team bonus and like match bonus? I think those are like 2 of them on there, or like, and I don't remember. I'd have to go grab a check, but
Yeah. No, that's a great question. So okay. So let me just double check. Let me just look at mine to make sure I'm using the right terminology. So if somebody, because I know what you're talking about, that can be confusing. Okay, so when you get your check in the mail, so or if you sign up for it being deposited into your account, you can look at how it breaks down in your coach online office. Okay, so it's retail commission. Okay, so retail commission is like any challenge packs that you sell. Okay, so that's where that will show up. Then you have subscription commission. So this is from Beachbody On Demand subscriptions that maybe have been renewed. Okay, then team bonus, and that's kind of what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
team bonus. Okay, so team bonus, that's what I was just talking about, team cycle bonuses. So where you've cycled, so if you're an emerald or above, where you've cycled and how many cycles you've had will equal a money amount. Okay, and then the matching bonus, Beachbody matches your, okay, let me make sure I say this right. Beachbody matches 5 to 10%. I'm not sure who gets 5 and who gets 10%, but they match 5 to 10% of your personally sponsored coaches team bonuses. Okay, so that's another reason why it pays to have, you know, a team underneath you. So if your team gets team bonuses, then you get 5 to 10% of whatever your team earned. Does that make sense? A little bit more sense?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So, okay, let me see. I'm not going to share number amounts. I won't do that. But okay, so I'm looking here on mine. Okay, I got for my team cycle bonus, I got $3.80. Okay, for that not for the team cycle bonus, but for the matching bonus. Okay, and that was because I see on here that Beeda and Katie both got a cycle bonus this last paycheck, and so I got a 10% match of whatever theirs was. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so I was very confused on that in the beginning, but that's kind of how it works. I hope Katie, I didn't share numbers, Katie and Beeda, like about what you earned, but but so that's another. I mean, Beachbody matches what you do for your coaches, and like right now, like mine, you know, it's $3 and something cents. Okay, that's fine, whatever, you know. But if you think about coaches like in the business, like if they have a lot of diamond coaches working underneath them, and Beachbody's matching 5 to 10% of somebody who's, you know, has a bunch of, that's how people are making money in the business. It's through having a team.
Right.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yep.
Thanks. Good question. Anybody else have any questions? Come to Summit. I want to see all of your faces. I'm really, really excited about Summit, and it is such a great time to get to be together and brainstorm and just like learn from one another and see people in person. And I was laughing, Katie, when you said Beeda is so tall, because I think I told you guys this, but when I went to my very first Summit, I mean, I'm not that tall, you guys. I'm 5'7". You know, I'm not like super tall, but when I went there, everybody was like, "You're way taller than I thought. I thought you were short." And I'm like, I don't even think, I'm not even that tall. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know if like I look like a midget on social media or what, but everybody was like totally, I mean, literally everybody that I came into contact with was like, "You're so tall." And I'm like, okay, you know, but it's just funny how like you see somebody on social media and you really don't know what like who they are in real life. And it's just so fun to get to, you know, be around people. So anyways, thanks for hopping on, Katie and Beeda. Thank you for sharing. I'm so thankful for all of you that hopped on. Please feel free to send comments my way. And I'm not sure who the 443 number is, but hi, and hi, Jess. How are you? Thanks for hopping on. And Heather, thanks for hopping on too. And we'll be in touch soon, you guys.
Yay.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Margot.
Bye.